What's going on, y'all? This is bbsketch coming in, doing a tutorial, or commentary, however you want to put it, for a stylized self-portrait that I put together earlier today. So this is my first time doing the tutorial, but without further ado, let's jump into it.
You ready, B?
All right, so basically, when I start on any piece, I'm looking for basic shapes. I'm looking for anything that's a defining shape. So basically, when I go to draw any form, I'm looking for a basic shape to start from. So in this piece, I took the shape of my head, and I started to create the line work for the back of the head going into the brow and into the cheekbone. On into the ear, and then I moved on into the brow. So along with those things, mind you, I'm drawing in the my first layer using the pencil. So I'll use the pencil and I'll pick like a nice color, like a blue or something like that, preferably a Sixers blue, or I could use like a purple, something within that hue that is just like a personal favorite of mine. So along with that, you'll see I start to carve out some of the characteristics, using again straight lines to exaggerate those different forms of the lip, the different forms of the nose and the eyes, and so forth. And as you can see, I even included the chin hair. I exaggerated the chin hair. As you can see, my chin hair doesn't go that long, but with the stylized version, I felt like having fun, so I created that form that was there. So then as I go in, I'm making darker lines. I'm making darker pencil lines because those are almost like those are the lines that I like. Those are the lines I want to keep, and I want to go over for the next layer. So as you can see, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the beard, what I want to do with how the hair grows in, because to me it doesn't. My beard doesn't grow in fully like that. It's not so refined. But at the same time, I'm trying to find the contour lineup of that beard, and as well as where the side of the hair starts, along with including the mustache and then certain lines that shadows create, underneath the mouth. So again, I'm still working out the line work, and as you can see, sometimes with the iPad, it's not so accurate where it ignores the your palm on different parts, and that's with Procreate and iPad. But either way, it's still cool. So now I'm moving the placement. I want it to be in the middle. I want it to make sense as far as the composition. Then I start on the second layer, which is the pen. I like thick black lines. That's the style that some people can say is graffiti inspired, comic book, all these different things. And that's just, the way that I view things. Like, I like thick black lines. I want it to jump out. I want it to be really distinct. So I'm picking more contours. I'm making it thicker. Now I'm adding the hair. I'm trying to figure out exactly how I want it to flow. And again, this is a quick drawing, so I'm not trying to make it make too much sense. I just want it to be the minimal, something that can entertain your eye. There's certain things that if I were to go back, I would, make it more of a flow, because even the way that your hair grows in, it's a flow. It spreads out. But the way that I drew it wasn't so spread. And then the ear, like for me, my earlobes are kind of fat, almost like a Buddha, and so I figured I'd include that aspect too, because they kind of curve up. And then when it comes to the jawline, my beard, again, it doesn't fully connect, but I want to give that implication that it does. So I did that, and then even the way that my mustache is, I'm doing the separate lines of hair follicles, and then I'm going to go in later on and create a shadow, like a little, a subtle shadow underneath that. And then again, making the hoodie, the collar of these NBA hoodies are kind of funny, but it's a lot of space in there. And again, the implication of the beard, and then the pupil and the cornea. One closed eye, and that kind of made the like my birthmark underneath there. So once I get done with this line work, I'll start filling in the skin tone. And granted, like the skin tone is not, it's not 100% accurate, but it's just something I just to do real quick. I had to play around with some of the color, and as you can see, I changed the background to gray so that the colors could jump out a little bit more, and then played around with the tint of the skin tone, added the white in the eyes. And as you can see with the white, like the white pops out more on that gray, the gray background. I added the the blue hoodie. And again, I didn't want to use black. You shouldn't use black unless for me, like I decided to use like a darker shade of gray to point out and to make it be separate from the actual line work. And then the lips. And granted, I'll go in there with different shadow because granted my lips aren't that pink, but I want to have a base layer. And then once I put the shadow on top of that, it's going to create a more realistic, tint to my lips. So even the inside of the lip, it's not black, it's not gray. So I use black for the shadowing, and I lower the opacity, to make it fit the way I want it to fit. And again, adding different shadows and different contours of the face. And then the lighting, which is like one of my favorite things to do. Adding little touches here and there. And then I'll insinuate different light spots. So this is not like a hyper realistic version. This is just something like if I see different light points on my face, I'll just make little, little pieces here and there to make it look like it's light. And then, the finishing touch that I like to do sometimes is outline the artwork itself. It makes it pop, in my opinion. That's just a personal, it's almost like a stroke in Photoshop. So I like to just go behind it, create another layer, and go behind the color in the line work and just create a line to make it, make the artwork pop. And again, the last part is, everybody knows the last part, when you finish your artwork is to sign your work. So for me, I just sign bbsketch. And if I were to post this online, people can see it's bbsketch, and they follow follow the trail that goes with it, the @bbsketch. And in that last piece, I actually forgot. I decided to put like a little piece of light in my eye, created another layer, and lowered the opacity so that it seems like there's a glare on the actual cornea, the cornea and the pupil. So hopefully that helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. And then, give me some suggestions as to what you would like to see in regards to the next tutorial. All right, it's been bbsketch. Hope to see you guys the next time around. Thank you for your time.
Thanks y'all for coming. Oh.